Hey guys, I was sitting here just kind of praising God, and I just kind of got the idea that there was just something I wanted to say. So, and as you know, you can tell I haven't brushed my hair and I'm still in my nightgown. But you know what? I think, well, when I'm like this, y'all know that you're getting the real deal, that I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. So, anyway, September the 11th, I had total hip replacement in my left hip. And let me just kind of go back a little bit. Like that morning I got up because I've been having a lot of pain in my hip. I've just really been struggling with the fibromyalgia and just really not able to move around and being overweight. I was actually started the beginning stages and was almost finished to do the bariatric surgery because I felt like, well, if it's my weight, I need to get it off. But let me just tell you how God is so wonderful for me. Because that morning I got up and I went, and I reported for surgery. And I was laying there back in the pre-op area. And my husband, because, it takes you forever. They want you to hurry up and wait. So I was just kind of laying there. Light was kind of off. And I was just kind of sitting there by myself. I'm not scared, not nothing. And I just started thinking about how wonderful God is. And, then I started declaring, God's word. And then that kind of went to singing, because very low, obviously, because I'm not a singer. Y'all don't want to hear this. But what I lack in talent, I make up for enthusiasm. So I think either God has a filter, so when he hears me, it sounds beautiful. Or maybe it's kind of like I just have that voice that sounds better when God hears it. I don't know, but I don't care. So I was sitting there and I was praising God, and I started singing and just reflecting on telling him how much I loved him, and I wasn't really doing anything. And I started laughing and just really being in a awesome place, because, just kind of communing with him there in the pre-op area by myself. And that right there tells you that God will come wherever you're at, and that he always loves to hear from us, especially when we're telling him how much we love him, and, and just being with him. So anyway, I went through the surgery, and I woke up later that afternoon, and I'm going to tell you, I was in a tremendous amount of pain. I mean, like 10 plus. And no matter what they were doing, it wasn't really helping me. And I was just like, it was unbelievable. And at one point, they were giving me Dilaudid, Oxycontin, and also Norco to kind of help manage. And I mean, it still was kind of rough. And but, they get you up that night. And I was getting up, but I was hurting pretty good. And then the next morning, they get you up because they want you moving. And so, I walked like 200 feet, and then they took me to therapy there on the floor. And I was able to do 15 reps of just a few things, and that with help. So later that day, I had to do 2 times of it. And then going into surgery, I had planned that I was going home the next day. Well, with the pain level and everything, I just really didn't feel comfortable. So what I did is I contacted my pastor and my loving church family. And if you're in the Greenco area, Living Waters Worship Center, that is the place to be, because God is just all over that church. But anyway, so I asked my pastor, I said, please, y'all pray for me at church tonight, because I just really am struggling with pain. And they did, and I just kind of knew when they did, because things just kind of changed. And it's like all of a sudden I noticed that, hey, I'm not hurting as bad. And over the next course of that evening, I was actually up and down, and it wasn't bad. I was actually like, no, let's go to the bathroom instead of using the porta potty. And I said, let's just go to the bathroom. So the next morning, the occupational therapist came in, and she's like, okay, let's see if we can show you how to get dressed and kind of refresh. And I said, okay. I said, well, my husband usually helps me, but whatever. So she did. And then I went to therapy, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm not hurting as bad. And I was like, oh, I'm going home today. I'm telling you right now. And I went to morning therapy. And I was doing 20 reps of everything they asked me to do without assistance. I didn't need the high dose pain medicine anymore. They were just giving me Norco and some and Robaxin. I think it was like a muscle relaxer, and that's it. And I was managing. So I went home that night, and it was a struggle for the first couple of days, but nothing bad. And they were just giving me Norco every 6 hours. So I went to my first official outpatient therapy, and I was able to actually do 30 reps of everything without stopping, without hesitation, and still was able to smile as I was leaving. So, but I had taken my pain meds. Fast forward a few days, and over the course of the next time I went in, I mean, I was just like running through stuff. I mean, they were amazed at what I was doing. And then 7 days post-op, I went from a walker to a cane. And in order for me to do the cane, I had to show at therapy that I could walk without anything. And I did it. I did it. I limped, but I did it. And I was just like, wow. So 7 days post-op, I'm on a cane. And when I'm home, I was just using furniture and just trying to do as much as I could. And I have been just doing whatever I can do for myself. And a few days after that, I stopped needing pain medicine at night. And I went yesterday to therapy because they were like, wow, man. And they're like, well, let's see what you do next week. And maybe we'll put you on the leg extension machine and put some weight and see how you do. I said, okay, let's do it. I'm game. And it's just every day it's gotten better. So yesterday was my first appointment after that. They made that decision. And I'm like, I could probably, well, I won't say I could outrun a lot of people, but maybe some slow people I could outwalk. But he put me on the weight machine, and it was like, oh, that's easy. He's like, okay, well, let's add a little more. What's that feel like? I'm like, fine. And he's like, all right. So he put that on there, and I did 30 reps of pushing back on my legs on both. He said, okay, well, let's see how you do. We'll take the weight off, and let's see how you do with just your leg that's been replaced, your hip's been replaced. I said, okay. So he took all the weight off, and he had me put everything just on my one leg. And he's like, how's that feel? I'm like, that's nothing. He's like, really? So he put some more weight. I was like, how's that feel? I'm like, it's easy. He's like, really? Okay, well, let's add some more. He's like, all right, let's try that and see what you can do. I cranked out 30. No hesitation, no stop, boom. And then we were walking back. He said, oh, I forgot to put you on the stair. Now, what they had me doing with the stair is I was just taking my bad leg and putting it up on the top riser and just kept taking it from the floor to the top over the last week. So I did that. He's like looking at me, and I was like, he was kind of thinking, I'm like, well, so you want me to climb the stairs? And he said, well, I always climb the stairs. He said, but you think you can try to go up one step? And I said, yes, let's do it. He's all right. So what he had me do is take my bad leg and step up and rise up on that first step as if I was climbing and take all my weight on that one leg. No problem. I cranked out 30 of those and nothing. Without even limping. So then he's like, okay, well, let's just see. So he put a little ankle weight yesterday on my ankle, and he told me to lift my bad leg straight and just lift it straight and just kind of like kick out and do 30 of those. Cranked them right out. And then everything out, and then he left the weight when he was having me take my knee and, kind of lift. Cranked them out. I still have sutures from my surgery, staples, and I don't even get them out until Thursday. And I'm walking almost without a limp. I can get around what I need to. I can get in and out of bed. I can get in and out of cars and today I am not taking any pain meds whatsoever because I just feel like that I don't need them anymore. And I'm not even 2 weeks. And just to kind of give you an idea of how this is so different is the last time when I had my right hip done. I was 4 weeks on a walker. I was taking morphine every 12 and Norco every 6 for almost 2 months. And I wasn't even near, the first 2 weeks I slept through therapy, and I wasn't even close to where I'm at now. God is just so good. And you know what? I am not, like I keep telling y'all, I am not anything special. I am just another person who has faith. And the last thing I'm going to do to show you exactly how wonderful and how much I have been able to do, I'm going to show you exactly how well I am doing. This is 12 weeks or 12 days post-op. Well, actually, I think it's 13 days. Maybe it's 14 because it was done the 11th. Today's the 25th. So hang on. Ugh. I hope this works because I've never really done this. This is my jam that I love, my song. Can y'all see? Oh, no, you can't see me. Hold on. Let's make sure you get there so you can see my legs. Okay. Alexa. I love Alexa, don't you? Play Old Church Choir. Alexa. Play Old Church Choir by Zach.
Old Church Choir by Zach Williams. Starting now.
This is how I feel inside too.
There's revival and it's spreading like a wildfire in my heart. Sunday morning, hallelujah, and it's lasting all week long. Can you hear it? Can you feel it? It's the rhythm of a gospel song. Oh, once you choose it, you can't lose it. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. I got an old church choir singing in my soul. I've got a sweet salvation that is beautiful. I've got a heart full of flowing 'cause I've been restored. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. No, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. In the valleys that I wander, turn the mountain that I can't climb. Oh, you are with me, you never leave me. Oh, 'cause there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. An old church choir singing in my soul. What a sweet salvation that is beautiful.
Alexa, stop. I apologize for the dancing and stuff because, I just, sometimes I get in the spirit. But, Old Church Choir, by the way, is such a wonderful, wonderful, inspirational song. Because, the enemy tries to come in and steal our joy. But we don't have to take that. We can take it right back. When the enemy comes and tries to tell you you can't do something or you're not something, that's when you need to put on your battle armor and get to fighting. And even if you're not a Christian, it doesn't matter. Just fight back and say, you know what, I ain't accepting what society's trying to label me. I'm not accepting anything. I know, there's a lot of you out there that I don't want you to feel like that I'm trying to do nothing but preach. Because, for me, God is everything. And I pray that everybody that sees this video, when you get done laughing at my dancing skills, but that's okay because I laugh at them too, that it just makes you think what God can do. But I'm here for anybody that is suffering from depression, fighting any kind of mental, or just feeling beat down. Because let me tell you, I have been through hell and back. And there's not a lot that I can't relate to, that I haven't been. But I just love my Lord so much. And I just get so excited that I just love talking about Him. You know, for me, Jesus is enough, and he will always be enough, because as long as I have him, I have everything. And just to kind of tell you, based on what you see, like I said, I'm only 13 days post-op. I have decided, because of how I'm doing, that I'm not even going to do that bariatric surgery that I was planning. Because I feel like God is really going to help me get active. Because for me, it was never about looks or whatever, because, you know, I'm overweight. But I'm not ashamed. I am who I am, and you know what? Life is too short to worry about what other people think. And I've hid in the shadows. I've hid in the darkness because of the bipolar, but no more. I am living out in the sun and in the light and in the warmth of the sun, and I am dancing for joy, because there's nothing in the dark worth having. There is nothing in this world that is worth having the peace and joy that I have found in my Lord. I hope this inspires you and kind of makes you think. And like I said, take it for yourself. Put on the old church choir, and just let yourself go. And there are so many other jams that you can do, but I'm going to tell you, you know, God is there in the waiting, no matter what situation you're in, no matter where you are at in your life. There is nothing that God will not forgive. There is nothing that will keep God from coming. All he wants is a sincere, Lord, please help me. And I got to tell you, I personally think that as soon as we say, Lord, whether you're saved or unsaved, as soon as you say, Lord, you get his attention. And, you know, the Almighty God is sitting, and he listens for us. No matter who you are, just cry out. Get help. Because I can tell you, there is hope for every single one of us. Nothing is too much to get help, to get in the sun, to live in the light. Nothing. God bless. Love y'all.